And good morning, world. It's Thursday, Friday, the 3rd of February 2017. And yours truly is in Denmark, in a town called Roskilde, which apparently has the oldest deep water harbour in Europe, where all the Vikings set sail to go and plunder the UK about 1400 years ago, 1300 years ago. A big thank you to all the people in Denmark who are hosting me and all those who have come to see me. I'm having a great time and I'm working hard, but thank you to all the Danish contingent. You know who you are. So, bit of astrology here, and it's a bit different than normal. I noticed that about 4 or 5 hours ago, one of the 4 major asteroids, Juno, moved into Capricorn. I also noticed that in 3 or 4 hours' time, another of the major asteroids, Ceres, is going to finally leave Aries and move into Taurus. I also noticed that Venus today is going to leave Pisces and move into Aries. The moon has just moved into Taurus. It seems we're at the point of some type of big shift at the more subtle level. All of these planets, the moon, Venus, Ceres, Juno, they all represent the feminine and to an extent the divine. Venus always used to be seen as the female representation of beauty and love. The moon, of course, is the archetypal feminine. Juno and Ceres are 2 of the 4 major asteroid goddesses, all of whom deal with the feminine version of projectiveness and assertiveness, while the moon and Venus are more about feminine receptiveness. And with all this feminine energy changing signs, I do think it's going to have a bit of an impact on the world. The moon moving into Taurus is great because, as any astrological student knows, the moon's really well placed in Taurus. It's not exciting, but it is solid, stable and reliable, and it's a position that does bring emotional solidity and stability into a person's life. Traditionally, the moon is best placed in Taurus, even better than in Cancer. Venus moving out of Pisces and into Aries. Well, Venus is dropping on the horizon now. Pretty soon it's going to start becoming invisible as it gets into the evening twilight, and then it will resurface once it goes retrograde in a few weeks' time. It will start resurfacing as the morning star in about, 6 weeks' time. But Venus in Aries is a bit of a weird one because Aries is where Mars lives, and Venus and Mars are traditional opposites. Venus in Aries is in its opposite sign because Venus rules Libra. So, the thing with Venus in Aries, especially when it's going retrograde, or getting ready to go retrograde, is that it has difficulty seeing beyond the immediate. Sometimes I say about people with difficult Venuses in Aries that they can't see beyond the tip of their own nose. That's a bit cruel, I know, but with Venus in Aries, there is this temptation to just deal with the here and now, the immediate. And whilst that's not a bad thing, it's not particularly good for looking beyond the immediate into the medium or long-term future and making plans for the future. Once Venus goes retrograde, that's a different story. Then long-term perspective will override the day-to-day stuff. Juno moving into Capricorn, that's a weird one. It's going to be there a fair few months, 3 or 4 months. And it talks of Juno's taking a lot of heat out of Venus. Venus used to be seen as the planet of love and beauty. And then 2 things happened. First of all, we got satellites underneath the greenhouse gas clouds of Venus, and we realised that Venus is actually a hellhole, that its skin erupts and it swallows its skin every 10,000 years, and there's nothing permanent about Venus. So it's kind of not really the planet of love and beauty. It's certainly the planet of value and worth, but not love and beauty. And now that Juno's been discovered and given an astrological significance within the last 20 to 30 years, Juno is seen very much as the planet of courtship, of mating rituals, of relationship. And Juno moving into Capricorn, I think that's well, it's not a bad position, especially with Venus moving into Aries. It suggests that there's going to be a degree more order and structure in the world when it comes to the nature of relationships, whether personal and intimate or global. And with Ceres now moving into Taurus, it does seem there will be a degree more stability around the place even if there's going to be a degree of stubbornness and reticence, there's not going to be a lot of changing of minds in the next few weeks. We're brewing up to the big conjunction at the end of February, and I'm going to start talking about that over the coming week or so. But today's a pretty unusual day, with so many minor planets and feminine planets changing sign. I think it's a day where we can all start looking at words like empathy, compassion, sensuality, spirituality, artistry, aestheticism, subtlety, all of the more gentle feminine aspects inside ourselves, and start thinking, well, what's happening to the world? Then where's our role in the world? And well, it's just a day for reflection, I think. Moon's in Taurus all day. It's not too bad a day. Catch you later, world. Bye.